Hello, I am doing a linguistic profiling experiment. I got this idea about this. A Facebook friend of mine posted a video from some other Facebook page about linguistic profiling based off of, with race. Uh, so I decided to do one of my own. I want to talk for a little bit, maybe do some reading. And I want you to think about who I may be, whether it be my gender, level of education, the socioeconomic environment in which I grew up in, um, geographically, where I am from and where I am living, my family background, um, and anything else that you might be able to think of based off of voice alone. I will then remove the tape from the webcam and give you a visual reveal as well as answer the questions in the demographic areas that I just mentioned. Um, okay, I'm going to read an excerpt from a book. Uh, the bus smelled of mildew, machine oil, and sweat. As the suburban Atlanta sprawl disappeared behind us, I tapped my foot on the floor and chewed a lock of my newly long hair. A nagging voice reminded me that I was only a half hour from home, that if I got off at the next stop and walked back to Smyrna by sunset, I could be in the comfort of my own bedroom, the familiar smell of Mom's starchy cooking in the air. She would hug me and she would sit down and watch awful reality TV shows together. And she would fall asleep halfway through, and then nothing would change. I would like to mention one important thing to take into consideration. I am recovering from bronchitis and am congested. I wanted to do this experiment while the idea was still fresh in my mind. So I don't want you to think that I always sound like this, congested, but please do take that into consideration. Okay. I was reading the opening to the book If I Was Your Girl. Okay, about me. My name is Elizabeth Graham. I was born in August 1989. I was adopted at the age of 6 months from East Asia. My dad was born and raised in Massachusetts and is the son of immigrants from East Asia. My mom was of Scandinavian descent, born and raised in southern Minnesota, brought up Lutheran, as is a common Protestant denomination in that area. Both of my parents had their master's degrees. My mom died in her 50s when I was in high school from skin cancer. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in counseling. I went to a public university in the state of West Virginia. I went to Montessori school as a child, and then from grades 1 through 12, I went to a private special education school for students with moderate learning differences. Shortly after my mom died, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. I took a postgraduate year of high school at a mainstream college preparatory boarding school in Pennsylvania. I was raised most of my life in the Washington, D.C. area, and I still live here. I currently work as a service coordinator. I do case management for children who have severe functioning level of autism. Uh, I go to church as often as I can, pretty much every Sunday. I was brought up in the United Church of Christ denomination. Since November 2015, I have been on testosterone blockers and estrogen pills. I am a transgender woman. I am an only child. I currently living with roommates. Well, cost of living is very high in the Washington D.C. area, even to live alone in a studio apartment. Uh, and okay, well, I guess that gives you a bit of a guess. Anyways, please comment. If you're viewing this on YouTube and Facebook, obviously my name is attached the um, in the post. So why don't you show this to a friend of yours and make sure that they don't see my name attached to it. I did a full name change with my gender transition because, well, my previous last name was, an Asian name, and I got tired of all the stereotypes. I didn't want to change it to my mom's last name because my mom's last name is very unique, and my previous name was in her obituary, and that's still floating around. So I didn't want my previous life to be tied to hers. Otherwise, I would have changed it to her name. My mom is was one of the people who rightfully kept your autonomy in marriage, and I support that. I'm a gender equality feminist. I'm also a gender equality etiquette feminist. Uh, I think after seeing my face and telling you a little bit about myself and my upbringing, uh, just tells you a little bit about who I am, and probably I might have confirmed some of your impressions on my voice alone, or I might have done the opposite, or I might have just informed if you're keeping neutral uh, perceptions of it. Okay.